Hey guys, here we are, Lake Martin recap. It's been a great week. Definitely a lot of fish in this lake. You know, if you look at the weights for this tournament, they were, lower than normal for an Elite Series. Lake Martin is full of fish, but it's not full of those 3 to 5 pounders. But it's a great lake to fish, and had a lot of fun fishing it. It's got spots out deep is where they were in this tournament. We're February, it's still winter time, and then you've got largemouth up shallow that are starting to progress. The water temperature was 48 when we started this week, and as the sun warmed it up and we got rain coming in, it started to progress toward 52 or 53. So I started to figure out 2 different patterns going on. I had one out deep, and I'm talking, when I say deep, I mean really deep for those spots. These are Tallapoosa spots. They just don't get real big. 3 pounders are a really good one, which I was fortunate to catch a few of those and have a good tournament. And then when I would somewhat get a decent limit, I was able to go up and try to catch some largemouth. So having that dynamic and being able to give it a 1-2 punch helped me get through the week and helped me to have a pretty decent finish. So when I was catching those spots out deep, and when I say deep, I'm talking 45 was where the majority of those fish came from, and even some of them came in 60 and 62, which is the deepest fish I've ever caught. These fish were relating to little bait balls. Some of them may have been herring. I never really saw any herring. I've heard that there's some in here, but relating to that bait, and they would move around, but they were still relating to some of that structure down there deeper. To catch those fish, the most consistent thing for me was a drop shot. And when I set this drop shot up, you guys have heard me talk about it, several times. It's on a MHX SJ870, which is a really light action rod. Most people don't like that light of an action rod, but I put it on a #1 hook, 6-pound test, up to a 16-pound braid mainline. And you've got that set up, and when one of those fish get it, you can just lean into them. These fish weren't around real heavy cover, so you didn't have to worry about that. But they get it, and those fish are done. I mean, they don't come off because of this rod's action. SJ870 is perfect. The 2500 series spinning reel held plenty of line for that, but just a great setup. I was probably running somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 inches on a leader and a 3/8 ounce weight. But that was definitely my main deal, and I would try to catch my limit, get 10, 11 pounds in the boat. And on day 2 especially, I was able to get up shallow, and you guys probably will see the video if you haven't seen the video yet. It's a pretty cool fish catch where I pitched this is a Baby Advantage 3/8 green pumpkin and brown jig, which is a great, just a great wintertime color, just kind of real natural looking. And I would pitch that bait up and around docks and brush, boat ramps, whatever was around there that in those north-facing pockets those fish, those largemouth were moving up. Just weren't as many bites there, but I knew if I got one, it was probably a better one. And fortunate enough, I got one really good bite yesterday, which was a 3 1/4 pound largemouth that really jumped me up. But really cool bite, and this Baby Advantage jig, most people think it's a finesse jig, which it is. But I mean, if you'll watch that video on social media of me, I think Triton put it out. It's a great fish catch, and you'll see it because this fish was down in brush, really deep brush, and this Baby Advantage got it out. So 3/8 Baby Advantage, not just for finesse fishing, but I set this up on an MHX NEPS 86 MHF. I wanted that medium heavy. I was throwing 15-pound tests, so I didn't want to have too much backbone in that rod to not break the line and whatever. But the water was clear enough in some areas that I felt like I needed that 15 versus 17 or so. 7-to-1 gear ratio reel, pretty simple setup there. Didn't get a lot of opportunities to do this, but when I did, it counted. And that was my 1-2 punch this week, guys. Wonderful way to start the season. Looking forward to going back to Kentucky. The next tournament we got is the Classic, so I'm excited about getting ready for that. I'm going to build a few rods, repair a few that I broke the eyes off of this week, getting in a hurry, trying to get baits unhung. But it's a great week for me, a great way to start the season, and hopefully we can build on this momentum. But I appreciate the support. This is how I caught them, and maybe you guys can use this to help catch some fish this week too.